This edition of i-Italy TV is sponsored by Colavita extra virgin olive oil. And Cheerio chopped tomatoes.
Christmas time. Time for shopping. Time to find your ingredient to prepare your dinner. So I'm gonna go inside and ask Di Paolo what Italians eat for Christmas. I'm inside Di Paolo's. It feels like to be in Italy during Christmas time. I'm surrounded by wonderful cheeses, smell of salami and prosciutto, ravioli, and anything you can dream of. And the Christmas spirit is right here. Christmas time is a very busy time here, right? Maybe the most one of the year.
It's the most festive time, and especially for the Italian household, it's a time to celebrate with your family. And no better way to celebrate with your family than at the table.
During the holidays in Italy, we eat several different types of food. One of them is lentils. It's said it brings money if you eat on New Year's Eve. I'm here with Chef Rosanna, and she's gonna tell a little bit more about this dish.
I cook with olive oil, little bit carrot, celery, and onion. Cook in the water 30 minutes, and I put inside the cotechino. In Di Paolo, they are the best cotechino in the Italian product. And cook it separate, and I put it together. And now it's ready for testing.
The traditional products of what we have is for antipasti, prosciutto di Parma, prosciutto San Daniele, to bring a little bit of these products to the family. A good piece of cheese, something like a good Parmigiano Reggiano or Grana Padano, some pecorino, sheep's milk cheese from Lazio or from Sardinia, goes very well on the table, on the Christmas table.
One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is an Italian-American tradition for Christmas Eve. They eat 7 fishes. I think the reason is because of the Gospel when Jesus talks about 7 bread and 7 fishes. In Italy instead, for Christmas Eve, we eat 1 or 2 fishes. Usually it's branzino, with salt or with lemon, and it tastes delicious. Panettone and Pandoro are 2 types of Italian dessert that you eat during the holidays. Usually it's an ordinary Italian tradition. Now every region wants its own. So they make panettone with fichi, figs, with amarene, cherries, with peaches, with chocolate. It's kind of like making a sign, making your signature. That's what the region wants. But New York is not just Manhattan. There's a lot of things going on in Brooklyn. Let's go and see them. I'm here at El Coluccio in Bay Ridge, and with Rosanna. We came here just to do groceries, and it's very important bread for Christmas, right? What kind of like typical Christmas bread, the bread they usually eat for Christmas?
Bread with noci.
Nuts?
Yes, with the olive oil, and bread with the cheese, every.
Thank you so much. Happy holidays.
So, Lisa, what you gonna eat for Christmas?
Probably my favorite thing is baklava.
How do you cook it?
We fry it. Fried and oven roasted with potatoes as well.
Is our whole family recipe?
It is. My grandma's recipe from Calabria.
You making it yourself?
My sister makes it every year, yeah.
How big is your family?
Probably 30 or 40 of us. Cousins, aunts, and uncles.
Do you celebrate both, like the Christmas vigil as well?
Christmas Eve is the big holiday. Christmas Day is a quieter celebration.
Do you only eat fish in the Eve?
On the Eve, it's all fish. Not exactly 7 fishes, but it's fish.
Long journey in Bensonhurst in Brooklyn, like smelling and tasting every single Christmas thing that's going on here. It was quite an adventure, and I want to do it again. Next time, I'm gonna discover something new. I'm at Casa Italiana at Zerilli Marimo New York University, Italian Cultural Center in the heart of New York. And now let's talk with married couple Charles and Michelle Cicolone, food and wine experts. They're going to take us to a journey that talks about sea urchin risotto in Brooklyn.
Hi, I'm Michelle Cicolone.
And I'm Charles Cicolone.
And we're here today at Fabrica, a new restaurant in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, that specializes in Italian cooking. We're going to be tasting some of the classic dishes made by Chef Simone. This one is risotto ai ricci di mare. Now, ricci di mare means sea urchin in English. And we're not so familiar with this kind of seafood, but it's a very, very popular one in Italy. And it gives a wonderful briny, oceanic flavor to whatever dish it's served in. Now here the risotto, which is of course rice from the northern part of Italy, is cooked and stirred with broth until it gets really nice and creamy. And the chef finishes it off in a most unique way with a little bit of that ricci di mare, and it has some burrata cheese and a little bit of salmon caviar for added color and flavor. I just can't wait to taste it. It's a unique dish inspired by the food of Puglia.
I think that with this particular dish, Michelle, we should go with a white wine, and I think a white wine from Campania. And the wine I chose today was Falanghina. Falanghina is a wine that came into the southern Italian peninsula many years ago by the Greeks. Probably almost 2,000 years ago or even more. And as a unique wine is that it's very refreshing, yet it has kind of lemony and herbaceous flavors to it. And also sometimes you could smell a little bit of the sea in Campania where this wine comes from. And I think it would make really a perfect combination with this lovely dish.
Well, that sounds great. I don't think we should wait any longer because, you know, with risotto, as soon as it's ready, you have to eat it.
Risotto waits for no man, as I always say, my dear.
Well, let's try it
so
with
let's
the
go
wine.
in and try the risotto. A little bit of first. And the Falanghina. Oh, that's delicious.
I love the briny oceanic flavors of the risotto, and the wine is lovely with it.
Yes, I was right to pick a Southern Italian wine. I think the flavors of the dish come out with a Southern Italian wine.
Excellent choice. Thank you, Charles. And thank you for
Always
joining
my pleasure,
us.
dear.
Ciao, until next time.
Pleasure activist Fred Kuwornu for Christmas time is talking to us about classic Italian dessert, panettone. Jonathan Galassi, who is a publisher and acclaimed translator of many poets, among those Montale and Leopardi, is going to suggest in us a book.
Today's word is panettone, which you could call a big bread, but it's something so much more than a big bread. Panettone is the traditional yeast bread or cake that you find in Milan. And while it's available throughout the year, it's particularly loved in December, and no more so than on the 7th of December, which is the feast day of the people of Milan, Sant'Ambrogio, named for the patron saint of Milan, Saint Ambrose. And Saint Ambrose was an early Christian figure in Milan and a great speaker, and he spoke in ambrosial tones, honeyed tones. So we get the word honeyed and ambrosia from the name of Saint Ambrose or Sant'Ambrogio. So he is celebrated every time someone eats a piece of panettone, usually with a glass of spumante, It's a wedge of cake made of candied fruit, made with a little bit of sugar, made with eggs and flour. And panettone is wonderful when fresh, and I have a secret for you. It's even better when a bit stale and turned into French toast. So, panettone is available wherever you are. I like to serve it with pomegranate seeds, crushed, or I will take dried apricots, steam them, puree them, make an apricot sauce, serve it with panettone. Slice panettone, take a little bit of milk chocolate and melt it. Add a little bit of butter. Before you know, this entire panettone has gone from here to right here, but it's worth it.
My favorite Italian novel is The Leopard by Tommaso di Lampedusa. I think it's one of the greatest historical novels ever written. It talks about the interface of the past and the present in a very profound and moving way. It's also a very deeply emotional book and one of the most satisfying novels I know. I think one of the things I love about it is that it's an essay as well as a novel. It's an essay about history, and that combination of the dramatic storytelling of the prince's family and his encounters with modernity, and the author's thinking about the past and history. The interface of those things is very, very successful and idiosyncratic and moving. Why is it still important today? Because, as he says in the book, if things are going to stay the same around here, they have to change. The sense of the relationship of the past and the future is so deeply felt in Italy in general and in the book. I think it's something that Americans can find in the sense of the past that a writer like Tommaso di Lampedusa has. It's a deepening experience for us to read it. And I think it's very beloved among serious readers in the United States. So I always urge everyone to read it. It's one of my favorite novels, one of the greatest novels of the 20th century.
We met for you Elisa, an Italian singer who sings and writes mainly in English. She recently released an album in the United States. And Fred Kuwornu, an Italian Ghanaian writer-director who did a documentary called Ius Soli, speaks about how it's difficult for people who are born from foreign parents in Italy to become Italian citizens.
I was a teenager who loved to write songs in English because everybody around me did not speak English, so they would not understand what I was talking about, and that was absolutely perfect. The night came down upon us. The brave were left alone. As a musician, I describe myself as a songwriter, but sometimes I am at the edge of pop music. I think I am pop, but I think that I am looking at a lot of different genres. I take little things from one thing from another, and I like to mix up everything in new ways. But for me, the core is always the song. The night is it came down upon all of us. We found ourselves all alone, all alone. I was not really looking at the markets, you know, I want to make it in America and stuff like that. Or no, I was actually, to be honest, very afraid, very scared to actually make it for real here. Because I was like, oh my God, 'cause then I'm afraid to fly too, you know, I'm afraid of being on planes and stuff. And I am all the time, because you have to do that so if you want to travel, and I love traveling, so.
Been a hard day, but I'm feeling sane. Though they point at me with the fingers of blame. My life's derailed and I know it's a shame. Well, I could get on track, but is that my aim? Apologize, I'm destined to apologize. Apologize, I'm destined to apologize.
The point is, musically, we are very well known and respected for what some of our artists have done in history, in Italian history. I think Domenico Modugno, Gino Paoli, Pavarotti himself. Those people did something that broke through the barriers and was very well accepted in everywhere else in the world. I don't think that we've done much after that. There's few bands like Lacuna Coil, like PFM, that made it in other genres and have a recognition outside of Italy. But it's very, very, very hard to do it in mainstream, in pop music. No one's ever done it before. This record is a collection of songs. It's basically mostly Ivy, which was my previous record, and a couple of songs from the movie. It's an acoustic record, it's a folk-oriented record, it's got a country root, a folk root. There is no digital involved, there's no filters. Everything is very, just the way it is.
And so the day has finally come. With my past I've drawn the song, and I'm glad I'm moving on. Yeah, I'm lost in a returning time. Let the winter chill my pride, but I'm done, I'm moving on.
I was lucky to find some people who understood what I was saying and liked what I was saying, probably felt like that. You know, you have things in common and all that, of course.
And maybe sorrow is my game. I'll be learning from this pain. I'm ready to move on.
But I don't have many expectations. I mean, I'm extremely happy about what's going on, and it was very exciting. I'm very grateful. It's a step-by-step experience, and we will see.
Italia, I was born here. Why Italian, I was born here? My name is Fred Kuwornu. I'm a filmmaker, producer and activist, and with other friends, people that have different backgrounds in Italy, so Italians with black roots, African roots, Asian roots or Latin roots. We started a social campaign titled Italia, I was born here, Italia sono nato qui, about a big issue that we have in modern Italy. Maybe you don't know, but if you are born in Italy and your parents are immigrants, you are not automatically Italian citizen. You will become a citizen only when you turn in your 18 years old, and then you will apply for the citizenship. So they have to live with a visa just to try to stay in Italy. The issue of the citizenship in Italy is really close to the issue that in America have, for example, many undocumented students. The President Barack Obama, said that also America have to make a deal with this guy. So we have to find a solution to try that their dreams come true. The problem of the modern citizenship is a problem that is all around the world. For this reason, we are showing since 12 months a documentary that we have produced called 18 Ius Soli. It's a documentary about the Italian case and the struggle of these kids to become Italian citizens. So this is a way to make a grassroots campaign using a documentary, a film, using the entertainment as a tool. And we are really pleased because this work was very welcome, and I think that it could be very interesting for the New Yorker, because New York is a city that basically is formed by the 39% of people that are foreigner born, but at the same time they are New Yorkers. So this is the right place in America where we can discuss again why you are a citizen of a country. The citizenship is a link between the community, is a link that connects the individual to the community. And so sometimes we have to think at the citizenship not as a gift that we are doing to someone, but as a gift that we are doing for our community. This is an important step that also in America should be followed, just to understand really the power of the citizenship.
We cover for you some events from the past. Among those, the launch of our magazine and our press conference. And now we're going to suggest you some things to do in the upcoming week.
Good evening, everyone. Buonasera a tutti.
We are available on demand on whoever has a Roku player, whoever has an Apple TV, or whoever has a Samsung.
The fact that they went from digital to printed is just the opposite. But it's not true that one thing is good for everything. Sometimes something is appropriate. At this time, at this point, Italy printed is appropriate.
Individuality is very much more important than being part of a community, because being part of a community is natural.
We are trying to all give an idea of a part of Italy, the one we in a way come from, and in a way we try to represent.
Today we will have the presentation of Intercampus of the United Nations.
La facilità della società di calcio nasce dal fatto che i bambini si identificano con i campioni.
The most important thing is to see the innocent and the smile in their face.
Una volta indossata la maglietta nerazzurra dell'Inter, si mischiano tra di loro, non hanno più nessuna differenza sociale.
The ideals which inspires the Intercampus projects fit perfectly in the United Nations framework.
I nostri film nascono soltanto da forti emozioni. Noi abbiamo detto, ma questa emozione che abbiamo, noi dobbiamo trasmetterla, bisogna dirla, noi abbiamo il mezzo per trasmetterla, questo mezzo ce l'abbiamo, è il cinema, quindi il nostro prossimo film deve essere su questo mondo.
I detenuti hanno detto, ma questo Shakespeare è un amico. È stato semplicissimo aderire ai personaggi, soprattutto in quelli del male.
Exhibition, Giorgio Griffa. The exhibition covers more than 40 years of his career, during which Griffa mixed the minimalism offered by vertical and horizontal lines with bright tones and numerical systems. Art exhibition, Fantasy and Invention, Rosso Fiorentino and the 16th century Florentine drawing, an opportunity to learn more about the complex style of a pioneer of Benares. This is a chance to appreciate the work of other important Italian artists like Giorgio Vasari, Andrea Pontormo and Andrea del Sarto. Exhibition, Bernini, Sculpting in Clay. Before Piazza Navona and Ponte Sant'Angelo in Rome, there were sketches and drawings, which are now here. 30 drawings and 39 terracotta sketch models bring alive the creative mind of Gian Lorenzo Bernini, the most important sculptor of the 17th century. Mantegna to Matisse exhibition, master drawings from the Courtauld Gallery. A wide range of techniques, hands and styles coming directly from the Courtauld Gallery. At the Frick collection, you have the unique opportunity to see works from Mantegna, Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo Buonarroti, together with Cézanne, Van Gogh, Degas, and many others. Exhibition, Beatrice Scaccia. Beatrice Scaccia paints the complex society in which we're living. Her collection of drawings inhabits worlds of dense black or bright white as a consequence of living in a world full of contradiction.
After doing groceries, seeing the panettone and the sea urchin risotto, I'm gonna go and play some Elisa music and cook something. I'm hungry. I see you next week. Ciao.
This edition of i-Italy TV is sponsored by Rachel Ray's signature specialty food line. From her all-natural, extra virgin olive oil and balsamic vinegar to her stock in a box, all designed for preparing quick and convenient meals at home in less time with delicious results. And Baci Perugina chocolates. Say I love you the Italian way.